My name is Mia, and this is my story, a tale of love, luck, lies, and the kind of revenge that changes everything. It all began in the bustling streets of New York City, where I lived a life that looked perfect from the outside but was held together by sheer willpower and a lot of coffee. I was 32, a marketing coordinator at a mid-sized ad firm, the kind of job where you hustle for every promotion and come home exhausted but proud. My husband, Ethan, was the love of my life, or so I thought. We met in college, at NYU, during a rainy orientation week. He was the charming finance major with a smile that could light up Times Square, and I was the ambitious girl from a small town in New Jersey, dreaming of making it big in the city. Our romance was straight out of a Hallmark movie. Dates in Central Park, sharing hot dogs from street vendors, late-night study sessions that turned into deep conversations about our futures. Mia, he'd say, holding my hand as we walked the Brooklyn Bridge, we're going to conquer this world together. You and me, building an empire. I believed him. We got married 5 years later in a simple ceremony at City Hall, surrounded by our families. My parents, hardworking folks, dad a mechanic, mom a nurse, flew in from Jersey, tears in their eyes. Ethan's family was there too, his older brother, Mark, a successful lawyer, and his sister, Sarah, who became my instant confidant. Your family now, Sarah whispered during the reception, clinking glasses. It felt like the start of forever. Fast forward a few years, and we had the whole package. We bought a cozy brownstone in Brooklyn, with a small backyard where we hosted barbecues on weekends. Our daughter, Lily, arrived first, a bundle of joy with my curly hair and Ethan's bright eyes. She's perfect, Ethan said in the hospital, his voice cracking as he held her. 2 years later, our son, Noah, joined the chaos, a little explorer who turned our living room into a fort-building zone. Life was busy but beautiful. I'd rush from work to pick up the kids from daycare, cook dinners that were more functional than fancy, and fall into bed with Ethan, whispering about our dreams. One day, we'll travel the world, he'd say, kissing my forehead. Just wait. But let's get real, marriage isn't all sunshine. Ethan worked long hours at his investment firm, climbing the ladder to senior analyst. He was good at it, bringing home bonuses that helped with the mortgage and kids' activities. I loved my job too, crafting campaigns that made brands pop, but I often felt the pull of being the default parent. Still, we made it work. Weekends were sacred, family trips to the zoo, picnics in Prospect Park, movie nights with popcorn fights. This is us, I'd tell the kids, snuggling on the couch. The unbeatable team. My family was my rock. Mom and Dad visited often, Dad fixing things around the house while Mom baked her famous apple pie. You two are doing great, Mom would say, watching Ethan play with the kids. My siblings were part of the mix too, my younger brother, Jake, a free-spirited artist struggling to make ends meet, and my sister, Emma, a teacher with a heart of gold but always short on cash. Ethan's side was closer, Mark, the protective big brother who hosted holiday dinners, and Sarah, who lived nearby and babysat on date nights. You hit the jackpot with Ethan, Sarah once told me over wine. He's one of the good ones. Little did I know how ironic that word, jackpot, would become. It was an ordinary Wednesday when everything changed. I was at the corner deli near work, grabbing a sandwich during lunch, when I decided to buy a lottery ticket. The Mega Millions jackpot was at $650 million, and my coworker, Tina, had been nagging me. Mia, come on, live a little. What if? I laughed, handing over $5. Fine, but I'm picking random numbers. I chose a quick pick, stuffed the ticket in my wallet, and forgot about it. That Friday night, the kids were asleep and Ethan was working late again, something that had become more frequent. I was alone on the couch, flipping through channels, when the local news announced the winning numbers. 5, 17, 28, 32, 63, Mega Ball 7. A whim made me check my ticket. My breath caught. 5, 17, 28, 32. 63, 7. It matched. All of it. I was holding $650 million in my hands. The room spun. "Oh my God," I murmured, tears welling. I could quit my job, pay off debts, give the kids the world. But then, panic set in. I'd heard the stories: winners bankrupted by greedy relatives, marriages destroyed by money fights, lives upended by fame. I decided right then, I wouldn't tell anyone. Not Ethan, not my family, nobody. I'd claim it anonymously through a trust, as New York allowed, and figure out the rest later. The next day, I contacted a lawyer, set up the paperwork, and took the lump sum, $390 million after taxes. It hit my secret account like a tsunami. I was rich beyond dreams, but I kept living like before, same job, same house, same Mia. But here's where the test came in. I'd always wondered about my family's loyalty. Were they the supportive crew I believed, or would money reveal ugly sides? Ethan's late nights had me suspicious too, texts he hid, scents of perfume that weren't mine. So, I devised a plan: I'd pretend to be in trouble and ask for help as a test. If they stepped up without expecting payback, great. If not, well, I'd know the truth. I started with small things. One evening, I confessed to Ethan over dinner. "Babe, work's rough. We're short this month, can we skip date night?" He nodded, but his eyes were distant. "Sure, Mia. I've got you." But he didn't offer more, just checked his phone. Suspicious. Then, I escalated. I told my parents I was struggling with bills after a layoff scare. Dad sent $500 without hesitation. "Anything for you, kiddo." Mom called daily to check in. Okay, they passed. Jake was next. I called him, voice shaky. "Bro, I need a loan, $1,000 for the kids' school stuff. Ethan and I are tight." He paused. "Mia, I'm broke too, but, yeah, I'll figure it out." He wired it the next day, from his meager savings. Good guy. Emma got the same story. "Sis, help me out?" She sent $800, saying, "We're family. Pay me back when you can." Sarah and Mark were trickier, Ethan's siblings. I hinted to Sarah during a girls' night. "Things are tough financially." She hugged me. "Let me know if you need anything." But no immediate help. The real test was Ethan. I broke down one night. "Ethan, we're in debt. Can your family help? Or maybe a loan from your bonus?" He hugged me. "I'll handle it, Mia. Don't worry." But he didn't. Instead, his late nights increased. I started noticing things: a receipt for a fancy dinner, lipstick on his collar. "Work event," he said. I pushed it down, focusing on the test. As months passed, I used the lottery money secretly, to pay bills, stash for the kids, but kept the facade. The family helped sporadically, but I sensed tension. Jake asked for his loan back sooner than expected. Emma mentioned her own struggles more. One day, I asked the whole family for help with a medical bill for Lily, fictional, but emotional. "Guys, we need $10,000. Can you chip in?" They rallied. Parents gave $2,000, Jake $500, Emma $1,000, Sarah and Mark $3,000 combined. Ethan borrowed from his savings. It warmed me, but something felt off. Ethan seemed relieved, like he'd dodged a bullet. Little did I know, the real bullet was coming. The test was meant to reveal loyalty, but it uncovered something darker, a web of lies that would shatter my world. The Brooklyn brownstone was quiet that night, the kind of quiet that feels too heavy, like it's hiding something. I was in the kitchen, cleaning up after dinner while Lily and Noah slept upstairs. Ethan had texted he'd be working late again, his third night that week. I stared at the sink, scrubbing the same plate over and over, my mind racing. The lottery win, $650 million, now safely tucked in a trust, was my secret, but the test I'd been running on my family was starting to feel like a mistake. They'd stepped up, mostly, Mom and Dad, Jake, Emma, even Ethan's siblings, Sarah and Mark, had chipped in when I faked a medical bill crisis for Lily. But something wasn't right. Ethan's excuses, his distance, the way he avoided my eyes, it was gnawing at me. I'd always trusted Ethan. He was my rock, the guy who'd promised to conquer the world with me. But lately, his late nights felt like more than work stress. There was the faint whiff of perfume on his jacket, a brand I didn't wear. A receipt for a wine bar in Manhattan I'd never been to. Client meeting, he'd said, waving it off with that charming smile. I wanted to believe him, but the lottery win had made me paranoid. Money changes people, and I was starting to wonder if Ethan was hiding something too. It started with a small slip. I was folding laundry when his phone buzzed on the counter. He was in the shower, so I glanced at it, just a reflex. The screen lit up with a text from J. Carter, "Miss you tonight." Tomorrow? My stomach twisted. J. Carter? No client I knew. I hesitated, then typed his password, our wedding date. It worked. My hands shook as I opened the message thread. What I saw hit like a freight train. Months of texts between Ethan and J. Carter, real name Jessica, I figured out fast. Flirty messages, heart emojis, plans to meet at hotels, bars, even a weekend in the Hamptons when Ethan told me he was at a finance conference. One text from her read, "Can't wait to be with you again. When are you leaving her?" Ethan's reply, "Soon, Jess. It's complicated with the kids." My vision blurred with tears. Leaving me? For her? I scrolled, heart pounding, finding photos, Ethan and a blonde woman, her arms around him, smiling in places I'd never been. My world cracked open. I could have confronted him right then, storming into the bathroom, but I didn't. I needed more. I needed to know how deep this went. I snapped photos of the texts with my phone, hands trembling, and logged out before he finished showering. When he came downstairs, towel around his waist, I played it cool. Long day? I asked, stirring coffee I didn't plan to drink. Yeah, he said, avoiding my eyes. Big project. Liar. The next day, I went into detective mode. I wasn't just hurt, I was furious. Ethan didn't know about the millions, but he was betraying me while I was testing his loyalty. The irony stung. I started digging, quietly. First, I checked our joint bank account online. Charges I didn't recognize, a $2,000 necklace from Tiffany's, dinners at upscale restaurants, a hotel in Soho. We weren't struggling, but we weren't that rich. Was he using his bonuses for her? I needed proof he couldn't deny. I called my best friend, Lena, a tech-savvy gal who worked in IT. Over coffee at a diner, I spilled everything, except the lottery part. "Mia, you sure?" she asked, eyes wide. Ethan's. Ethan. I showed her the photos of the texts. Her jaw dropped. Okay, we're catching this jerk. Let's track him. Lena helped me install a tracking app on my phone, linked to Ethan's without him knowing. It felt dirty, but so did his lies. The app was a goldmine of betrayal. It showed Ethan's phone at a Manhattan high-rise last week, not his office. Another night, he was at a rooftop bar in Williamsburg, same place as one of Jessica's Instagram posts, geotagged with a heart. I created a fake account to stalk her profile, Jessica Carter, 28, a junior analyst at Ethan's firm. Blonde, polished, all smiles in designer dresses. Her post screamed, perfect life, but the comments, some from Ethan's work buddies, hinted at rumors. "You and E still killing it," one read. My blood boiled. I couldn't stop there. I hacked into Ethan's email, same password, rookie move. Buried in his deleted folder was a draft to his boss, exploring opportunities in our Miami office. Family considerations. Family? Did he mean Jessica? Another email, from Jessica, had a flight confirmation for 2 to Miami next month. Our new start, she wrote. My knees buckled. He wasn't just cheating, he was planning to leave me, Lily, and Noah for a new life with her. The final nail came when I hired a private investigator, Rachel, recommended by Lena. Give me a week, Rachel said, her voice calm but firm. If he's cheating, I'll get you proof you can use. She didn't need a week. 3 days later, she emailed a report that made my stomach churn. Photos of Ethan and Jessica at a hotel, kissing in a cab, holding hands in Central Park. A video clip of them laughing at a cafe, her hand on his thigh. Audio from a legal bug Rachel placed during one of their meetups. I'm telling Mia soon, Ethan said. I can't keep this up. Jessica's reply, good. I want us to be real. I listened to the audio alone in my car, parked outside my office. Each word was a dagger. Telling me? He hadn't said a word, just kept smiling, kissing me goodnight, playing dad to our kids. I thought of Lily's giggle, Noah's hugs, our life built on years of love. How could he throw it away? And for what? A coworker who thought she'd won him? But the twist hit when Rachel dug into Jessica. She wasn't just Ethan's fling, she was engaged. To a hedge fund guy named Ryan, who had no clue. Rachel found Ryan's LinkedIn, his engagement announcement on X, excited for forever with my love, Jessica. Posted 6 months ago, while she was texting Ethan. The hypocrisy was staggering. She was playing both men, building a fantasy while destroying my family. I sat with the evidence, my heart a mess of rage and grief. I thought of my family's help during my test, Mom and Dad's $2,000, Jake's $500, Emma's $1,000, Sarah and Mark's $3,000. They'd passed, mostly, proving their love. But Ethan? He'd failed spectacularly. His loan was from our joint account, probably to look good while he planned his escape. The worst part was the kids. I overheard Lily ask Ethan one night, "Why are you always gone, Daddy?" He brushed it off, "Work, sweetie. Gotta keep the lights on." I wanted to scream. Instead, I tucked her in, promising, "Mommy's got you." Noah clung to me, sensing the tension. I couldn't let them suffer for Ethan's lies. I confided in Lena again, at her apartment, away from prying eyes. "He's leaving us for her," I said, voice breaking. Lena slammed her fist on the table. "That bastard. You're not taking this lying down, Mia." I nodded, wiping tears. "I'm not. But I need to be smart." Lena grinned. "Good. Let's burn his world down, figuratively, of course." The lottery money gave me power, but the test had revealed Ethan's true colors. He wasn't just disloyal, he was a coward, living a double life. Jessica was no better, cheating on her fiancé. I wasn't just fighting for me, I was fighting for Lily, Noah, and the family I'd built. The betrayal was raw, but it lit a fire in me. Ethan and Jessica thought they could sneak away into the sunset? Not on my watch. The New York skyline blurred through my tears as I drove home from the parking lot where I'd listened to that damning audio. Ethan's voice echoed in my head, "I'm telling Mia soon. I can't keep this up." Telling me? He'd been lying to my face for months, maybe longer. I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white, my mind a whirlwind of grief and fury. How could he? We'd built a life, Lily's first steps in our brownstone, Noah's baby laughs filling the rooms, anniversaries celebrated with cheap wine because we were saving for the future. And now, he was throwing it all away for Jessica, some ambitious blonde who was cheating on her own fiancé. The hypocrisy burned. I pulled over in a quiet Brooklyn side street, engine idling, and let the sobs come. They racked my body, hot and ugly, the kind that leave you gasping. Why? I whispered to the empty car. Was I not enough? Too focused on the kids? Too ordinary after years of marriage? Self-doubt crashed in waves, maybe if I'd lost the baby weight faster, or initiated more date nights, or... No. This was on him. On them. But the pain was mine, sharp and unrelenting. I thought of the lottery win, $650 million, my secret safety net, and a bitter laugh escaped. I was richer than I'd ever dreamed, but my heart was bankrupt. That night, I slipped into bed beside Ethan, who was already asleep, his back to me. I stared at the ceiling, emotions churning. Grief for the marriage I thought we had, anger at his deceit, fear for the kids. What would divorce do to Lily and Noah? Custody fights, split holidays, explaining why Daddy lives with Aunt Jessica. The thought made my stomach twist. I tossed and turned, dreams haunted by images of Ethan and her, laughing while I crumbled. The next morning, I called in sick to work, dropping the kids at school with forced smiles. "Have a great day, munchkins," I said, hugging them tight. Lily looked up. "You okay, Mommy? You look sad." Her innocence broke me. "Just tired, sweetie. Love you." Alone at home, I paced the living room, the PI's report spread on the coffee table like a crime scene. Photos, texts, emails, irrefutable proof. I wanted to burn it all, but instead, I cried again, this time with rage fueling the tears. "You bastard," I muttered. He'd failed my loyalty test spectacularly, chipping in money from our joint account while plotting his escape to Miami. I confided in Lena over a video call, her face filling my screen. "Mia, oh my God," she said, horrified. "What are you gonna do?" I wiped my eyes. "I don't know. Confront him? But I need to protect the kids first." Lena nodded, fierce. "And yourself. You have that windfall, right?" She didn't know about the lottery, but I'd hinted at savings. "Yeah," I said vaguely. "But this hurts so bad, Lena. I feel like a fool." She leaned in. "You're not. He's the fool. Channel that pain, Mia. Make him pay." Her words sparked something. Revenge. Not violent, not illegal, just justice. The lottery gave me resources, lawyers, investigators, anonymity. But first, I had to navigate the turmoil. I started therapy virtually, spilling to a counselor named Dr. Hayes. "It's like my world's imploding," I said, voice cracking. "One minute I'm grieving, the next I'm plotting." She listened. "That's normal. Betrayal trauma is real. Give yourself space to feel." I did, journals filled with rants, runs in the park to burn off rage, quiet moments with the kids to ground me. A twist came when Sarah, Ethan's sister, called unexpectedly. "Mia, you free for coffee?" We met at a cafe near her apartment, her eyes concerned. "What's going on?" "Ethan seems off." My heart raced. Did she know? I tested the waters. He's been distant. Work stress, I guess. Sarah sighed. "I saw him with someone, a woman from his office. They looked close." My breath caught. Sarah had spotted them. "When?" I asked, voice steady. "Last week, at a bar." I confronted him. He said it's nothing, but Mia, be careful. Tears pricked her eyes. "You're family to me. If he's cheating, I'll kill him." Sarah's revelation was a lifeline. She didn't know the full extent, but her loyalty to me over her brother shifted everything. "Thank you," I whispered, hugging her. Inside, my turmoil eased a fraction. Ethan's own sister was on my side. But it deepened my rage. He'd lied to her too. Planning began that afternoon. I met with a divorce attorney, Carla, in her sleek Manhattan office. "Gather evidence," she advised, reviewing the PI's report. "New York's no fault, but infidelity strengthens alimony and custody claims." I nodded. "I want full custody. He doesn't deserve them." Carla's eyes were sympathetic. "We'll build a case." "But Mia, you mentioned substantial assets?" I hesitated, then revealed the lottery win. Her jaw dropped. That changes everything. We protect it, prenup or not, we'll argue it's separate property. Financially, I started untangling us. Using the lottery funds, I opened secret accounts, transferring small amounts from joints to avoid flags. I documented Ethan's affair expenses as marital waste, per Carla. He spent thousands on her, demand reimbursement, she said. I felt empowered, the turmoil turning to resolve. But revenge went beyond divorce. I wanted Ethan and Jessica to feel exposed, humiliated. First, I dug into Jessica with Rachel the PI. She's engaged to Ryan Ellis, Rachel reported. Hedge fund hotshot. No kids, but a prenup that voids on infidelity. Perfect. Plan A, tip off Ryan anonymously. I drafted an email from a burner, your fiancé's cheating with my husband. Proof attached. Blurred photos, texts, enough to spark doubt. Ethan's career was next. His firm had strict ethics rules, no office romances. I prepared an anonymous HR tip with evidence. But I held off, timing it for maximum impact. Emotional peaks hit hard. One night, Ethan came home smelling of her perfume. How was your day? I asked sweetly, serving pasta. He smiled. Busy. Miss you, though. The lie fueled my fire. After the kids' bedtime, I tested him. Ethan, are we okay? You seem distant. He pulled me close. Of course, babe. Just work. His hug felt like chains. I pulled away, faking a headache, and cried in the bathroom. Another twist, Mark, Ethan's brother, called. Mia, Ethan's acting weird. Asking about loans. Loans? From the family help during my test? Mark didn't know the affair, but his suspicion added layers. Keep an eye, I said vaguely. Mark paused. If something's up, I'm on your side. Another ally, Ethan's family fracturing. With Lena and Sarah, I brainstormed over wine at Lena's. Expose them publicly? Lena suggested. Sarah nodded. But smartly. Hit their jobs, reputations. Plan B, social media bombshell. Fake account posting hints about office affair at firm name, with teasers. Viral potential in NYC's finance scene. For Jessica, something personal. Rachel found her wedding registry, set for next year. Send Ryan the full dossier, Sarah said darkly. I agreed, but with a twist. Include Ethan's, I'm leaving Mia, texts to show Jessica he was using her too. The planning climax came when I discovered Ethan's secret account, $50,000 stashed, probably for his Miami move. He's embezzling marital funds, Carla confirmed. Freeze it. I did, watching the app show his card decline at a restaurant, with Jessica, per tracking. My emotions stabilized into cold determination. The turmoil had forged me. Revenge wasn't rash, it was precise, a symphony of strikes. Ethan and Jessica thought they held the cards. With $650 million and allies, I held the deck. My plan was a meticulously woven net, designed to ensnare Ethan and Jessica without mercy, using the lottery millions as my invisible arsenal. I wasn't out for destruction, I wanted exposure, consequences, the kind of karma that lingers. With Carla my lawyer, Lena my confidant, Sarah, Ethan's own sister, as an unlikely ally, and Rachel the PI on speed dial, I felt like a general commanding a battlefield. The emotional turmoil had hardened me, grief and rage now fueled precision. They think they can betray me and walk away? I whispered to myself in the mirror one morning, eyes fierce. Not anymore. The first strike was subtle, a setup for the chaos to come. I started with freezing Ethan's secret account, the $50,000 he'd stashed for his Miami escape with Jessica. Using Carla's legal wizardry, I filed an emergency motion citing marital asset dissipation, backed by the affair evidence. Ethan didn't see it coming. I watched via the tracking app as he tried to use his card at a upscale Manhattan lunch spot, likely with her. Decline. He tried again. Decline. His texts to Jessica popped up. I'd cloned his phone app, cards acting up. Weird. Her reply, baby, fix it. We need that for the trip. I smirked, sipping coffee. Revenge point 1, financial panic, planted. That evening, Ethan came home flustered, loosening his tie. Mia, our accounts, something's wrong. My card got declined. I feigned concern, chopping veggies for dinner. Really? Mine's fine. Maybe call the bank? He did, pacing the kitchen, only to learn the account was frozen pending legal review. His face paled. What the hell? I kept cooking, heart pounding with satisfaction. Hope it's not fraud, I said innocently. He muttered excuses and retreated to his office. Suspense built. He had no idea I was behind it. But that was just the opener. The next move targeted Jessica's fiancé, Ryan, adding a shocking layer of betrayal backlash. I'd prepared the anonymous email during planning, but now I sent it from a coffee shop Wi-Fi, untraceable. Attached, the full dossier, texts, photos, audio clips of Ethan promising to leave me. The subject, your fiancé's secret life. Body, Jessica's cheating with a married man. Planning to run off. Thought you should know before the wedding. I hit send, adrenaline surging. Would Ryan bite? The wait was torture. He did, faster than expected. 2 days later, Rachel tipped me off. Ryan's PI contacted me. He's furious, digging into Jessica. The fallout hit like a storm. I tracked Jessica's phone. Rachel had slipped a legal tracker during one of her stakeouts. She rushed to Ryan's penthouse mid-afternoon. Shouts audible even from Rachel's report. Ryan emerged, bags packed, yelling, "We're done. Prenup's ironclad, you get nothing." Jessica chased him, sobbing in the street, neighbors gawking. Rachel captured video discreetly. Jessica called Ethan in panic. Ryan knows. He threw me out. Ethan's voice cracked. How? Calm down, we'll fix this. Fix it? I laughed bitterly, listening via the clone. Revenge point 2, Jessica's engagement imploded, her perfect life shattered in public. Twist 1 dropped when Sarah got involved, turning family against family. I'd confided more in her after her bar sighting, showing select evidence. He's my brother, but this is wrong, she said, tears flowing. Use me. I did. We orchestrated a family intervention, Ethan's side only, at Mark's house for dinner. Sarah invited Ethan, saying it was casual. When he arrived, we were all there, me, Sarah, Mark, even their parents via video. What's this? Ethan asked, confused. Sarah started, voice steady. We know about Jessica. Ethan's eyes widened. What? No, I laid out the photos, texts, playing the audio. His family gasped. Mark stood, furious. You're cheating on Mia? With some office fling? Their mom cried, how could you, Ethan? He stammered, it's not what it looks like. But Sarah dropped the bomb. We helped Mia during her financial troubles, and you were planning to bail? Ethan turned to me, pleading. Mia, please. I stood tall. You failed us all. His family turned cold. Mark cut him off financially. Sarah blocked him. Revenge point 3, Ethan's kin disowned him. His support system crumbled. The suspense escalated as Ethan tried to salvage. He confronted me at home that night, kids at a sleepover with Lena. You did this? Told my family? His eyes were wild. I nodded calmly. You betrayed me first. He grabbed my arm, not hard, but desperate. I love you, Mia. Jessica was a mistake. Lie. The tracking showed he'd met her hours earlier. I shook him off. Save it. Sign the papers when they come. He left defeated, crashing at a hotel. But I wasn't done. Career sabotage was next, multiple hits for maximum shock. First, the anonymous HR email to Ethan's firm. I sent it at midnight, attaching evidence of the office romance and ethical violations. Concerned employee, reporting misuse of company time and resources. By morning, HR summoned Ethan. Rachel's contact inside whispered, investigation launched, suspension pending. Ethan texted me frantic, work's a mess. Some tip about me? I replied sweetly, hope it's nothing. He was unraveling. For Jessica, it was worse. With her engagement blown, I tipped her boss, same firm, about the affair compromising projects. Anonymous, of course, with timelines showing her promotion tied to Ethan's favoritism. She was placed on leave that day. But the twist, Ryan, her ex-fiancé, sued for emotional distress, citing the evidence I'd sent. Jessica called Ethan sobbing, cloned audio, my life's ruined. Ryan's taking everything. Ethan's reply, we should have been more careful. Careful? Too late. Public exposure amplified it all. I created Betrayed in NYC, a fake ex account, posting a thread, when your finance hubby cheats with his engaged coworker. Proof. DM for deets. No names, but hints, firm initials, Miami plans. It went viral in NYC's finance circles, retweets exploding. Ethan's colleagues shared it, Jessica's friends panicked. A local blog picked it up, affair scandal rocks Wall Street firm. Ethan was fired by week's end, reputational risk. Jessica resigned, blacklisted. One shocking confrontation was personal. I invited Jessica to a neutral spot, a park bench, via a spoofed email from Ethan's account. She showed, hopeful. Ethan? Instead, me. You, she spat, turning. Wait, I said coolly. Hear why your world's crashing. I played Ethan's audio, Jessica pushed me into this. I love Mia. Her face crumpled. He said that? I nodded. You're both liars. Enjoy the fallout. She broke down, alone on the bench. Revenge point 4, emotional gut punch, trust destroyed between them. The final layers involved the lottery reveal, selectively. I served Ethan divorce papers publicly, at his firm's lobby, pre-firing. Process server loud, Ethan Hayes, divorce summons. Colleague stared. Papers detailed infidelity, asset demands, including my undisclosed inheritance, the lottery, veiled. He called raging, what inheritance? I hung up. Twist, I donated to charities in his name, from a betrayed wife, publicized anonymously. Blogs ate it up. As strikes culminated, Ethan begged for mercy, signing over custody and assets. Jessica fled to Chicago, broke and alone. Mia stood victorious, millions intact. The Brooklyn air felt lighter as I stood on my brownstone steps, watching the moving truck pull away with Ethan's last boxes. It was over, the divorce finalized, the revenges delivered, the dust beginning to settle. Ethan had slunk off to a dingy apartment in Queens, his career in tatters, his family estranged. He'd signed everything, full custody to me, generous alimony, ironic, since my lottery millions made it pocket change, and a no-contest clause on the affair. Mia, I'm sorry, he'd whispered in court, eyes hollow. I didn't respond. Sorry didn't erase the pain, the lies, the plans to abandon Lily and Noah. The immediate aftermath was a mix of relief and raw edges. The kids noticed Daddy's absence right away. When's he coming back? Noah asked, clutching his stuffed bear. I knelt, heart aching. Daddy's living somewhere else now, buddy. But he loves you, and Mommy's here always. Lily, wiser at 5, hugged me tight. Is it because he was mean? Kids sense everything. I started them in therapy, play sessions turning tears into drawings. You're strong, like Mommy, the counselor said. We rebuilt routines, park days, baking cookies, storytime snuggles. The lottery money helped, quietly funding a bigger backyard play set, art classes for Lily, without flaunting it. Professionally, karma circled Ethan like a shark. Fired from his firm, blacklisted in NYC finance, he took a low-level job at a startup, scraping by. Whispers followed, that guy from the affair scandal. Jessica fared worse, engagement shattered, job lost. She moved back to her parents in Ohio, waitressing and dodging lawsuits from Ryan. Her social media went dark, but Rachel's updates showed her isolated, regretful. She's broken, Rachel said. Good. My family rallied, a silver lining in the chaos. Mom and Dad visited more, Dad fixing the house while Mom cooked comfort food. You did what you had to, Mom said, hugging me. Jake and Emma, who'd passed my loyalty test, became pillars, Jake helping with the kids, Emma offering teacher wisdom. Even Ethan's side shifted, Sarah babysat regularly, you're my sister now, not him. Mark cut Ethan off but sent checks for the kids. The test had revealed true bonds, strengthened by the truth. Emotionally, closure came gradually. I revealed the lottery win to my inner circle, Lena, Sarah, my family, over a quiet dinner. Jaws dropped. Mia, you're loaded? Jake stammered. I nodded, explaining the secrecy, the test. They were shocked but understanding. Use it for good, Mom said. I did, trusts for the kids' futures, donations to women's shelters, even funding Emma's school supplies drive. Therapy helped me process, grief fading, replaced by empowerment. You reclaimed your story, Dr. Hayes said. A sweet twist brought joy. At a charity event, funded anonymously by me, I met Alex, a kind widower, teacher like Emma, with a son Noah's age. No rush, just coffee turning to dates. You've got fire, he said, walking Central Park. I like that. It wasn't revenge, it was moving forward. The lesson? Betrayal tests you, but secrets, like my lottery win, can be tools for truth. Loyalty isn't given, it's proven. Ethan and Jessica's karma was self-inflicted, lies crumbling under exposure. I didn't destroy them, I illuminated their darkness. As I watched Lily and Noah play, laughter echoing, I knew I'd won more than millions. My peace, my family, myself.